Bonjour, bonjour, hello everyone, Romain here. I want to talk about the 2022 Formula 1 car. Big change of regulation. I was being asked a lot of questions. Why, how, what's the differences, what's going to change? I mean, since Liberty Media came to Formula 1, they've been telling they want to improve the show. I do agree that the last generation of car was super fast, super nice to drive, but bloody difficult to overtake. Without the DRS, you wouldn't overtake. I felt like the DRS is not the best way to make an overtaking, No racing in IndyCar, I feel like the overtakings are better. We've got the push to pass, which is like an extra 50 horsepower that we can use for 200 seconds a race. But the DRS just feels like it's a bit artificial way of overtaking. I feel like there could be improvement made to allow better racing. Formula 1 has been running huge amount of simulations, hours and hours, and thousands of gigabytes of computers and so on, just to try to make the car more easily followable. In the past, you wouldn't imagine how much dirty, how much downforce you would lose following another car. Even at the start of the race, when you would be at the back of the field and you would go in a straight line, the car would just go right, left. It would just not stick to the ground. And then you would enter a corner behind a guy and the front would wash out and the rear would come around and you would just lose the whole downforce. And because Formula 1 cars are so complex with all the aero details, the bargeboard and so on, the bargeboards that are going to be gone in 2022. But before that, you could see on the Red Bull and the Mercedes and the Ferraris and McLaren how much details they were on. So those details are made for the car to go forward, right? Or with a certain yaw angle. But imagine if you follow a car and you have a big moment snaps, then all those bargeboards, downforce generating wings, they do not work anymore. You're going from having a lot of downforce when everything is in a perfect conditions to suddenly losing it all. And then that means the car just becomes very hard to drive, unpredictable. You can spin. Formula 1 has made a lot of effort with a much simple based front wing. You can see the rear wing also much more simple, no bargeboard. So the car are going to be looking like less technically evolved. They will lose a lot of downforce from that. So how do you compensate the loss of downforce from all these wings? What Formula 1 has made is to bring back ground effect. It's been used in pretty much every other category. It's Formula 2, IndyCar, back in the days in Formula 1. Ground effect is generating downforce through the underfloor of the car, under the car, the floor, by generating a certain way and having a big diffuser at the rear. That means the car is going to be pulled to the ground, but not through the wing, through the underfloor, meaning that when you follow another car, yes, you're going to lose the downforce from the wing, but the loss of downforce is going to be minimal compared to what it was, meaning you're still going to have a lot of downforce when you follow a car, meaning you can stay close and therefore go for an overtaking maneuver. That's what they're hoping is going to happen, and I'm confident it's going to be good. They also brought those winglets on top of the tires, trying to stop the flow as well, going everywhere and kind of control the flow so the dirty air is not too bad behind the cars. Another big change is tires. We're going from a 13 inches tire to an 18-inch tire with low profile. So 13-inch high profile to 18-inch low profile tires. 18-inch low profile tires is what you guys have got on your road car, 18, 19, 20, 21 on the big road cars, but basically 13-inch tires are gone since the Peugeot 205 times. So it was kept in racing, but the tires manufactured, they wanted to go something more similar to road cars, which would make sense. So that's going to be another change. Let's see how Pirelli tackled that one, if they've done a good job reducing the overheating of the tires, longevity, and the capacity of the driver to push them and go to the limit of the car. One other big change, not going in the right direction, sadly, for 2022 is the weight of the car. The cars are going to be heavier, bigger tires, more safety measure on the car. The cockpit, the chassis are getting stronger, which is great. No complaint on that one, but because of the bigger tires, bigger rims, weight of the car goes up. So when I started Formula 1 in 2009, it was 605 kilos, driver included. When I left Formula 1 in 2020, it was 742 kilos. So there was already 137 kilos up. You have to imagine that 10 kilos is 3/10 slower lap. So when you're talking 100 kilos, that's 3 seconds slower lap. This year there's another 30-ish kilos. That's not going in a good direction, but sadly there isn't much solution with those long, big, heavy, wide cars and the hybrid system being also quite heavy. So 2022 is made to bring back a more competitive field, more together, right? So we've seen simpler aerodynamic measures, and another big thing was the budget cap. There's quite a bit of things you can take off the budget cap. But generally, I think the budget cap is going to help to reduce the gap between the small and the big team, which is going to be great, because as much as I enjoyed the 2021 season with the fight between Lewis and Max, I felt like P3, P4, P5 were a lap down, which is a bit of a shame. So with the budget cap, the more simple cars, they're still Formula One. They're not simple, but they're less complicated aerodynamically wise. I feel like maybe the field is going to be more tight, meaning we could have some good surprise here and there. And that's the beauty of the sport. You don't want to go into a competition knowing that it's always going to be the same one winning, which did kind of happen for the last 7-8 years. Good job to Mercedes. They've been the strongest, and then Red Bull catch up in 2021. But it's been either Mercedes, either Red Bull winning over the last 7-8 years, with Ferrari at one point. But only 3 teams were very often on the podium on the top step. So budget cap, less complicated aerodynamic device, newer car, newer tires, some new drivers. I think we're on for 2022, a pretty good 2022. Yeah, what's your take on it? What do you think about it? Let me know, as always. Comment, like, subscribe, but make sure you give me a comment. Make sure you give me your feedback. What do you think about 2022, how it's gonna go, and then we can chat about it.